Let's kick things off with a thought that's, well, it's kind of unsettling. We all like to think of ourselves as rational people, right? Carefully weighing the evidence to figure out what's true. But what if our brains aren't built for that at all? What if our entire cognitive operating system is actually designed for something else completely?
No, I'm serious. Think about it for a second. Do you think we're really designed to be these impartial judges just sifting through the facts? Or is something else going on in there?
Well, a whole lot of research suggests our brains are fundamentally wired for one thing above all else: survival. And their main tool for that job is pattern recognition. And here's the kicker: what helps you survive isn't always the same thing as what's objectively true.
So, first up, let's talk about the actual hardware we're all working with. This isn't about having bad habits or being lazy. Nope, this is about a core design flaw in our thinking that makes every single one of us susceptible.
The cognitive psychologist Thomas Gilovich just nails it here. Our brain isn't like a camera, just passively recording reality. Instead, it's actively building our reality, second by second. And, well, that's where the trouble starts.
And the main tool our brain uses for this construction project is what's often called the mother of all biases: confirmation bias. And this goes so much deeper than just which news channel you watch. This is a structural feature, literally baked into the way we process the world.
I love this metaphor because it's so perfect. Forget a neutral judge in a black robe. Your brain acts like a passionate, high-priced defense lawyer. And its one and only client? Everything you already believe to be true. Its job isn't to find the truth. Its job is to win the case for its client.
And here's exactly how that lawyer brain works. When you see information that fits what you already believe, you ask a really simple question. Can I believe this? The bar for that is super low. It's an easy yes. But when information challenges your beliefs, the question flips entirely. Now you're asking, must I believe this? And that is an impossibly high bar to clear. You'll become the world's greatest skeptic, searching for any tiny flaw to dismiss it.
Okay, so we've all got this cognitive flaw. But that machinery doesn't just switch on by itself. It needs a spark. It needs an emotional trigger. Which brings us right to our second point. What gets this whole process started in the first place?
This is absolutely crucial to understand. People don't get drawn into these narratives because they've done a better job analyzing the data. The belief isn't filling some gap in information. It's plugging a deep hole in our psychology.
And the research is incredibly clear about what that psychological hole is. The number one trigger that sends us searching for these kinds of explanations is a profound feeling of having lost control. Just think about it. A global pandemic, an economic crash, major political upheaval. It's in those chaotic moments that our brains start scrambling for an explanation, any explanation.
And here's the huge paradox. Our brains are terrified of randomness. The idea that terrible things can just happen for no reason at all is almost unbearable. A vast, evil conspiracy, as frightening as that sounds, is actually more comfortable than chaos. Why? Because at least it implies that the world makes sense. It means someone, somewhere, is in control.
This all sets up what some people call the Eureka trap. These narratives are brilliant at this. They don't just hand you the answer. They give you little clues, breadcrumbs, and they encourage you to do your own research. And there's a reason for that. Because when you connect the dots yourself, your brain rewards you with a hit of dopamine. That aha moment feels incredible. It feels like your discovery. And once that happens, it's not just an idea anymore, it's part of your identity.
So once that hook is set in one person, how does it jump from one mind to millions? To figure that out, we have to zoom out from individual psychology and look at the dynamics of the networks we all live in.
Information scientist Sander Vanderland has this powerful way of looking at it. He says we have to stop thinking of this stuff as just bad information. We should treat it like a virus. It's an epidemiological contagion. And honestly, when you look at the data on how ideas cascade through social media, you can see he's spot on.
So, why does this virus spread so much faster than the cure? It really comes down to the packaging. A conspiracy theory is basically a movie script. It's got heroes, it's got villains, it's emotional, it feels urgent. The truth? Well, the truth is usually a spreadsheet. It's abstract, it's nuanced, and frankly, it's kind of boring. Our brains, which are wired for stories, are just way more compatible with the movie script.
This brings us to the final, and maybe the deepest, part of this whole puzzle. There's a profound philosophical reason we're so drawn to stories about powerful villains and secret groups.
Let's be honest about what reality often looks like. Running the world is kind of like a trip to the DMV. It's chaotic, it's frustratingly slow, it's bureaucratic and boring. But the conspiracy narrative?
It offers a much more seductive alternative, a secret, all-powerful cabal that's organized, effective, and incredibly competent.
And that's the strange comfort, isn't it? We find the idea of an evil genius less terrifying than a chaotic void, because a genius, even an evil one, implies order and control. The alternative, that maybe no one's really in charge, that the world is just a messy collision of incompetence, is a much scarier thought. We'd rather have a villain than a void.
Okay, let's pull all these threads together. We've looked at the cognitive flaws, the emotional triggers, the viral networks, and the philosophical comforts. How do they all lock together to create this perfect storm?
When you line it all up, you can see it. It really is a perfect storm. You've got a cognitive flaw that makes us seek confirmation. You hit it with an emotional trigger, like feeling powerless. You feed that need with viral stories that spread like wildfire, and you wrap the whole thing in our deep human preference for order over chaos. Each part reinforces the other.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's not about pointing fingers at those people. It's not about them. It's about us. The goal is to think about how you think. It's about recognizing that every single one of us has this wiring. The next time you feel that exciting rush of certainty, that aha moment where you've connected the dots, that's the moment to pause and to question your own brain.
And all of this leaves us with one final massive question to chew on. Our brains are optimized for story, not for data. Our entire digital world is optimized for engagement, which almost always means drama. So in an environment like that, can the boring spreadsheet of objective truth ever really compete with the blockbuster movie script? That's a question we're all going to have to answer.